am really loving the Stampin' Up scrapbooking workshop kits. It's really gotten me back into scrapbooking, and I have a whole different, I guess, outlook on how I scrapbook by using these kits. They come with everything. So right here we have the Wildflower birthday kit, and you've got several pieces here of designer series paper that is double-sided, okay, just like our normal designer series paper. We also have a few pieces that aren't double-sided, okay, so we've got those. Then we have our two-tone cardstock. You can see the two-tone on these. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. Some white, and let's see, we got quite a few pieces of white here. And then we also have some die cuts. These are more die cuts, and a sticker sheet. So these kits are really intended to make it, use up everything, very few leftovers, and then go on to your next kit. Now, they are designed to make 6 pages, 3 double-page spreads, and it has this amazing instruction guide for it because we do have to cut. Now, this is a little different than our card kits because the card kits are pretty much pre-cut. So what we're going to do is start by, I'm going to show you how to cut things. I have found the easiest way to do these kits is to do all of your cutting and put things as you cut them into 3 different piles. So this would be project 1, project 2, and project 3. And when I say project, think of it as 2 12 by 12 pages. So we're going to go ahead and open up our instructions here. And this is what I absolutely love, these cutting guides. So we're going to just start and work our way right through it. Now, I think you can see that. You can see the first piece we're going to cut is this designer series paper that has the birthday cakes on one side, and it even says front, and then it says back, and we flip it over, and there's the stripes. So let's move these other ones, and then I'm going to show you how to follow this diagram and give you a few tips. So a couple of things to pay really close attention to. First, down here, it will say front, back, front, back. It will also say cut orientation. And with this one, I'm looking at this little picture here. It shows these birthday cakes going up and down like this. Not this way, but that way. So that's kind of our first thing we want to look at real close. The second thing is we want to look and see where the little scissors is. That indicates your first cut. So it is right here. And if I look at this piece, it's 7 inches wide. So we're going to make our first cut at 7 inches. So we're just going to open up our cutter here. You want to make sure your front is up, okay? Or, whoops, orientation is correct. And then we'll come out here and we're going to cut at 7. I'll set that piece aside, and then I'll come back and I'll look, okay, we cut that. So now we have a 7 by 10.5. So we can flip that. There's our 10.5. Okay. Then this little piece that's left, you'll see right here, it says 5 1/4 by 1 1/4. So we're going to just trim that down, 5 1/4, and then 1 1/4. So we're just taking off a little bit here, like so. And then when we come back to our diagram, you'll see here it has that little asterisk, which means it's the other, we're flipping it, we're using the back. So that's the piece we're going to use. Now notice our leftover, well, hold on. Let's cut the rest of the pieces here. This is our little scrap, and then we're going back to that first piece we cut, and this is 3 by 10.5. So we need to cut it down to 3, and then turn this to 10.5, like so. Okay, so those are the 3 pieces out of this piece. So this here is extra. This I'm not even going to think about saving. This one I might save in case I want to put it on. So we'll kind of set that into our extra pile. And then we're going to go back, and you'll notice all of these are for project 1. 1L, 1C, 1G. I don't really worry about those letters. I thought that probably a little bit more than I needed. So they're all ones. So I'm going to put this in my project 1 pile. I'm going to ultimately end up with 3 piles, project 1, project 2, project 3. So we'll set these into project 1 pile. And then I'm going to cut one more for you just to show you. So we're going to take another piece. This time it's saying the front is this way, orientation is stripes up and down, and my first cut is over here at 10. So we will come out here, do our first cut at 10. That's going to be extra. And then we're going to turn this way, and we take 1 1/4 piece off. Okay, could be top or bottom. So that piece, and then this here is going to be 9 3/4 tall. Okay, so I am just following this 9 3/4. So come out here 9 3/4, and then each of these pieces is 5 inches wide, and it was 10 to start with, so that makes it super easy. Now we're going to come back here. This piece, the 10 1 1/4, is for project 1. Okay, and then these 2 pieces are project 3. So I will put these in my project 3 pile. So we've cut those. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip it, and we're going to just work through here. We're going to grab our next piece, again, paying attention to orientation, front and back, and we will cut all of the designer series paper, labeling them or putting in piles 1, 2, 3. And then we're even going to cut here. It says the peach pie cardstock, the willow white cardstock. It tells you exactly what to cut. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of that off camera. I think it'd get really boring if you watched all of that. And then we'll come back and I'll show you my piles and how the next step of putting together the pages. Okay, I finished cutting everything, and this is all I have left for scrap. So I kind of saved, the bigger pieces in one pile in case I decide to use them. And the rest of this, I'm just throwing right in the garbage can. And then here are my 3 piles. So that is for the first 2 pages, the second 2 pages, and the third 2 pages. So we're gonna go ahead and we're only gonna work on the first ones to start. So we're gonna flip over here and we'll see we've got the pictures of both of those pages. Now the other thing that I didn't do here was the die cuts and the stickers. So let's grab those. So here's one of the sheets of die cuts. Now seriously, they could not have made it any easier for us. If you flip this over, you will see on the back, they're actually labeled by which project. So project 2, we'll put it in that pile. And these punch out really nice. So we're gonna just go through and we're gonna add these to our pile. Project 1, here's a project 3. So I will go ahead and punch all these out and then I will be right back. Okay, so that's all punched out. So that is garbage. And then I'm also gonna prep my sticker sheet. Now here's the sticker sheet, and these are really nice because I call them cardstock stickers. It feels like cardstock, which because they're not glossy and shiny, that means we could even stamp on these. So we've got our little labels there we could stamp on, or we could add like, a glitter glue or shimmer or whatever on these. But I found the easiest way to really see what stickers you have and use them is to peel off that outside backing. So you can see how I just started at one corner and I'm leaving all of the stickers on the sheet. It will make it easier to pick them up when you're ready for them. So let's just peel all of that off of there. Look at that. Whew, there we go. And then there's even some down here, but I'm not going to peel these off because there's strips here. And this, I think, is actually scrap down in the corner. But I might use that for a border. Okay, the same with this one. That could be a border as well. And then this piece up here too. So this is kind of sticky. So we're going to just fold this in half and get rid of that as well. And I think we're ready to do the first project, the 2 pages. So let me get set up and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I am going to again look at my pictures here and actually the first two pages, you can see even better on the front because they're nice and big. And you can see that this paper is what's going to be the background of our pages when you look at our instruction sheet. Let me just make sure, am I in the camera? I'm used to working on cards. This takes up a lot of space. And then all we're gonna do is take all of those pieces, and I'm gonna just, where do I want to set it? There. And I'm gonna first lay it out so I can see what I have. So when you look here, you can see the white pieces go on there. And then it's like, do they go that way or that way, this way? Because I remember when I cut this, it was a little bit bigger one way than the other. So we're gonna lay those out. Okay, so that's gonna go like that. And then let's see, our designer series paper, I can see the bigger piece is going to go over here and the smaller piece over here like that. And then I have my pieces with the birthday cakes. And again, smaller piece is going to go there, larger piece is going to go there. See how we're just building that on there. And then we've got these pieces here of the, let's see the little pieces here. This is the two-tone cardstock, and we're going to actually use both sides to get some dimension. And if you look over at the edge here, and if you wanted to, now I want to show you all the options. If you look over here, it does tell you to flag the right ends of 4 of these pieces. I am more of a, like, look at the picture, and I can tell that on these longer ones right here, we're gonna make, they call it flags at the end, or little banners. Now, I found the easiest way to do that is to just kind of lightly fold it in half, like so. That way you get the center, and then if you snip up in the center, and then come out here to the corners and go to where you snipped. See, did I get all the way through there? Almost. And then we come on this side and we go up there as well. So there's one of them. Okay, so we'll do the same thing on this one. A little stiff there, it's a little hard to find the middle. So then we're gonna snip in and come out to these corners and snip right in like so. Okay, so there are those pieces. And then if I look, it's also the 2 longer ones of these. So we can do the exact same thing here. Now, another way you can do this, this is a little bit thinner paper than the two-tone, so you can even fold it in half and just snip at once. I have a hard time on that two-tone because it's a little bit thicker. So with this, because it's designer series paper, fold it, cut from those folded corners in, and just like that, we have our banner ends. So then as we look at our picture, we will see that this one goes about right there. That's the lighter side, right? Yep. And then the darker side is going to go about there. And this one, we're going to put our stripes down here. See how we get all those fun little banners going. And I'm going to show you a tip here in just a second. Oh, wait a second. I'm trying to follow exactly here. Sometimes I stray off a little bit, but there's that one and then that one. Now, when we look at our picture, you will see that across the page, these pieces are going to match up as well. They just don't have the banner ends on them. So when we go to adhere this down, I've got some tips for you. So let's just get everything laid out. So we've got all those laid out, and that's really the base of our pages, okay? And then we're gonna build everything up on top of that. So let's go ahead and we're gonna start with the left side here. And I need to just kind of remember how this goes or look back at my diagram. And we will start with our white. I'm using the Stampin' Up! Seal adhesive for this. Whatever kind of adhesive you like best for scrapbooking works. Now, the diagrams do tell you, and I should show you this, if you are, oh, don't put that on the adhesive. If you are really, really picky, it will actually tell you, let's go in here. If you look at this diagram, it will tell you that this white is a 1/2 inch down. So I honestly, I'm not that fussy and that picky, and that's like way too much measuring for me. So what I do, oops, and then we don't want to turn it the wrong way, is I'm just actually eyeballing it top to bottom and doing it right along this left side, eyeballing this, eyeballing that. I'm getting it right up to the edge, and we're calling it good enough, okay? Then this one, we're going to have our designer series paper. And then this is going to, when I look at my picture, just be centered up and down. So again, we will eyeball it and get it even along the edge at least. Let's see. You know, I use liquid adhesive for all my card making just because it's a little bit easier. You can slide it around. So the seal isn't quite as forgiving. Notice I don't put a super ton of it on because these are going to go in a page protector, which is going to hold everything together for me. So we'll put, trying to get it right over to the edge there. There we go. So there's that. Now, before we put our stripe pieces on, let's come over and do this page because I think this will show our little trick here for lining things up a little bit better. Get adhesive on there. And what I do is, because this is kind of a continuing design from one page to the other, I'm going to just put my pages next to each other. And I know this is going to line up with the edge of the paper. But as far as like how high, top and bottom, I'm just going by matching it up to this one. So that, there you go, my whites match. And we'll do the same thing. Let's see this. Make sure this goes the same way. It's going that way. I'll do the same thing here. I'm going to just eyeball it by putting these together. You can see it's kind of right like so. You know, I could have put on the 2 blue pieces before I put the cake piece on, because then I could have lined them up a little bit easier. But this is going to work. So then we go like so. And once again, we will line them up. You guys, I got like the cutest pictures. I can't wait to finish these pages and show you the fun pictures that I have for them. Okay, so now we're ready to put our little banner pieces. And I'm actually going to go to the bigger piece on this one first, because these are a little bit bigger to work with. Let's see, let's find all our pieces. We are going to go ahead and start with our light, okay, which is this one, and it should be the little bit longer one. Put some adhesive on here. Now this, when I look at my picture, I would say that's pretty much about in the middle. And again, doesn't have to be perfect. So let's line up that one and just kind of stick it across there. And then I know that my next one is this one. We want, yep, the darker. I think I got them right. And we're gonna just go let those banner ends or flags just kind of overlap a little bit. And then we have our stripes. And that one will go right up at the top here. Trying to look at the picture. I don't think that one even overlaps. It just goes right next down to it like so. And then we've got this one. But I hope you see how easy these pages go together. Like once you've done all of that cutting and you have it sorted by what pieces go where. So then, because this also carries over, okay, so we're going to do these kind of in the same order. Put the pages right together, and then we can come, oops, it's kind of covered up there. So let's just peek underneath, and that's going to go about right there. And then the darker piece will go right like so. We're just building it the same way we did. And this one goes right on top, right down like that. And our final one. Tricky part here is making sure you put your adhesive on the right side. And then this one, let's line that up again, because we're gonna go right there like so. Okay, we have built the base of both of these pages. So let's flip over here. And you can see what we've done. Now it's time really to put like our photo boxes on there. So what we're gonna do is grab our other pieces. This particular one here, we cut a lot of photo mats, okay? And I wanna show you what else comes in this kit. So the photos on here are matted, which are what all of these pieces are that we cut out. So I'm gonna just kind of, again, look at my pictures, and you know, this one I might have to go the diagram. Let's see. Oh, doesn't say here. We're gonna guess. Like I said, I'm not a measurer. That's my problem. So it looks like we have that, and then one of these is going to go here, just like so. And then on the other page, oh, there we go. I think we got it. This one and that one. And then that's where our pictures would go. Now, they also include in these kits what are called photo placement. This is for the whole kit, so I don't know what sizes, which really what these are designed to do is when you're putting this together, if you don't want to put your photos on right away, you can stick these on here just like that. Let's see, that's a 3x4 and a 3x4. There should be one more 4x4 that's going to go there. And you can actually use those as mats for your photos if you want. When you get your pictures printed, or if you print them yourself like I do, 4x4 is a standard size, and you could trim your photo down a little bit to have that double white mat on there. Otherwise, you don't have to put these on if you don't want to. If you want to just wait and, you know, put a full 4x4 photo. But that just gives you a really good visual. And then, let's see, we got a couple other pieces here that we haven't used yet. This one, I'm just looking at my pictures, is going to go there. And this is going to be our journaling piece that's going to go there, along with our cake. And then we've got a big sticker. So I am going to actually go print my pictures before I finish this. This is just the way my brain works. Because as I'm printing pictures, I might find that I want to make them a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, or whatever to fit. But this gives me a really good general guideline as to what kind of pictures I'm looking for. So again, I'm going to stop the video and I will come back when I have pictures and we'll finish up this page. Okay, we are moving right along with these 6 scrapbook pages, 3 double page layouts. Now this one, I think I put most of this together when we were on film before, but now I've come back and I've finished it. Well, almost finished it. Now you can see I made just a couple little tweaks here. And this is where I don't change these layouts a lot, but I'll tweak them a little bit. So if you look at this one right here, our original, it was supposed to have 2 pictures, a square and a rectangle. Well, my printer, I was kind of having troubles getting the right size photos I needed and stuff. So I changed the shape of them a little bit, cut down my white, no big deal. But then over here, I had just one more photo I wanted to share, and I wanted it to be a big focal point. So I put it over here instead of this journaling box. Okay, can you see what I did there? Added the birthday cake, moved it over a little bit. And then the other thing, because I felt it was a little bit plain, these little spiral things, this was an extra piece in those die cuts. So I'm like, ooh, this will work perfect there. So now the only thing I need to add here is from my sticker sheet, the special day. Now I'm going to show you a tip here. Let's see, I should have moved this down a little bit, but I think we're going to put these kind of at an angle, like so. How's that? And I want to pop them up with dimensionals. So what I'm going to do is take this and actually stick it on my clothes. Okay, trying to get some of that stick off of there, and that's well, it's still a little sticky, but that'll help it from not getting too smushed down. So then, oh, I guess this shirt I have on probably wasn't very linty, because usually if I do it like on my jeans, it tends to pick up a whole lot more lint. If you have a sweater on, you're golden, because it'll really kick that stuff off. And then we're going to just peel these off. Now notice my birthday cake down here, I also added that on dimensionals, but that was a die cut, so I didn't have to worry about the sticker part of it. So let's just go special, and then we're going to come here with day, maybe do it a few times, try to get some more stick off of that. And then we can go ahead and stick some dimensionals. Yep, not much stick came off. I shouldn't say the stick comes off. It's the lint gets on it and makes it not sticky. So then we'll peel these off. And then I think, oh, we don't put that upside down, right? Special day. There we go. So my first 2 pages are done, with the exception of the couple of little changes that I made, as well as I still have this piece, and I'm not sure if I'm going to put it on there or not. This belongs, according to our directions, right there. I've even thought, as I dig through photos, I might even put another picture there, because that's what's more important to me. So those are the first 2 pages. Now let's take a look at the next 2-page spread. Okay, so when we look at our picture, here's our next 2-page spread. And just like I did with the other ones, I started by laying everything out. Okay, so I have my little photo placeholders there. And then when I went to look for my pictures, I was struggling with the pictures that I had for this one. So all I'm going to do is change my photos a little bit. So instead of a 4x4, I actually have a 4x6. And rather than cutting some more basic white to mat it, I'm going to stick it in the middle of that photo mat and just have it hang over. So I still have white edges on 2 sides there. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one. Okay, we're just going like so. I haven't stuck anything down yet, so I can move them around yet. And then over here, this one is where I was really struggling. Oh, you know what? Okay, I had a different plan. This one was going to go here. So that sticks out. We still have the white on there. And then I decided I wanted a big picture here of Miss Lizzie. So that's going to go there instead of the 2 photos on that one mat. And before I stick that down, I'm going to trim that mat down just a little bit to have more even around there. And then this one was supposed to go in the middle here, another 3x3 square, which I don't have a good square. So we're going to do the same thing with so. So sometimes you got to just adjust based on the pictures you have. And now I have one more picture that I really want to put on here. So I think what we're going to do is we can go ahead and move our balloons. We can move this one up, and then we can move this one down here. And I think I have another square, maybe not. I'll have to cut. I'm going to cut one more piece just for consistency. A piece just like this one to go underneath here. And then I'm going to stick it all down, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've stuck down all my pictures. Let's take a look again. Here's what this side's supposed to look like. So different shapes and one big picture instead of 2 small. And then over here, rather than 2, I added a 3rd. Then let's go ahead and pull our sticker sheet again. Now, make sure you click on the description of the video. I do have a link to a blog post, and I will have photos of my completed pages along with more information about these scrapbook workshop kits, because I love them. And don't be fooled by the name. That kind of bothered me at first. I'm like, scrapbooking workshop? You don't have to be at a workshop. It's my own little workshop at my own little home, okay? And we've got our balloons, so let's grab our dimensionals. You know, some of the stuff, it's like just popping up little things like this really makes some difference on your page. And even when they go into the page protectors, you still see that they're popped up. So it does add a little bit to it. So let's get all of these. I got dimensional backings everywhere. So, and then this one, it was supposed to be kind of tucked under, but I think just to fill my page a little bit more, I would tuck them down just a little bit like so. How's that? We'll stick that one there. And then just looking at this, we have some flowers. This looks like a big sticker flower. Let's see, I think these are actually the same. So this one, is supposed to come over here, but I kind of ran out of room because I have a larger picture there. So we're just going to move it just a smidgen and come right down there. And same thing, can't see this, but I'm sticking it on my jeans. I think jeans do a little bit better job than my shirt here. See, you can see all that linen, or lint, I guess, that on there. Now, here's a little tip with your dimensionals. When you've pulled out all the middle ones, you can just break off these end pieces. And they work fabulous, especially for big things like this. Let's go ahead and stick this. And then we are almost done with the second set of pages. Aren't these pictures fun? These are all my grand dogs. My kids, I don't have any grandkids, and my kids are a little obsessed with their dogs, so they always have fun birthday parties for the dogs, so it makes for fun photos. So let's go ahead, we'll just stick that right there. And I think this page is done. There's a couple little, there's supposed to be a flower there, but I think I'm full enough. I'm gonna stop. We got room for some journaling up here, which I'll come back and do later, but there's Lizzie's birthday. Now let me set these aside and I'll bring in the next set of pages. So before I start sticking anything down, just like I showed you on that first set of pages, I kind of lay it out. Now, when I was looking at this, most of these pieces, I think all three of these, they actually tell you to put the little banner ends on them. And I think I like the cleaner, crisper edges on both sides here of just the straight layers. So I'm not gonna do that. Again, teeny tiny little tweak. So I laid it out, and then I can go ahead and figure out this is what they're saying for photos. So before I stick anything down, I'm gonna go to my photos and print some photos, because just like the other pages, I might change some sizes or add a few photos depending on what I have, because these two pages are gonna be all about Lucas. So let me print some photos and then I'll be back to show you how I put this page together. Okay, so we're coming back to the third layout here, and I did make some changes as I started putting things together. Remember I said I wasn't gonna put a banner on these? Well, I ended up putting a banner on one, but I didn't use the second piece. I thought one was enough over there. And then I did find a 4x6 photo. So this is kind of with these workshop kits, they give you these photo placeholders so that if you're not putting photos on right away, you could stick that there, and then you know when you come back to it, oh, that's a spot for a 4x6. Now, these you can also use for matting. So if you wanted to, I could cut this down and use this for a mat, but I don't need to because that one's gonna fit on there. So let's go ahead and stick this one down. Okay, we're just gonna put it in on that white mat that we cut when we did all of our original cutting. And then we can go ahead and stick this one down as well. So we're gonna just, let's see, we'll come about right there. Without that second piece of the peach in there, it's off a little bit, but that's okay. So there's that page. Now when we come over to the second page over here, I did decide to banner the two ends there. So that worked good for me. And then it had, again, two photo spots here, 3x4s, and I found 3x4 photos, so I can stick those on there. You can see, I sure need a new cutting blade. Sometimes if you flip it over, it's a little bit better. And then this one, we've got another 3x4 photo for there. So that will go there. And then down here on the original, it had that really small square. Here's my original thing, a 2x2 photo. Well, mine printed a 3x3. So we're going with a 3x3. And what I did is I took one of those photo mats. Okay, remember, I'm not using the photo mats, and I trimmed it down a little bit to be 3 1/4 and by 3 1/4, so that will mat that photo. Just that way I don't have to dig into my stash of basic white. These are all absolutely usable. So I am gonna go ahead, stick those down. It does have some flowers and the cake, the stickers and stuff that I will add onto this one. And then I'm gonna call this video done. The whole intent of this video was to show you how these workshop kits work. We started out by cutting, okay? Follow those directions really close, and then lay stuff out, find your photos, tweak them a little bit if you need to. You saw how I changed the size of a few of my photos just to fit. But for the most part, I followed it almost exactly, because that allowed me to do this really quick and easy, and I'm having a blast scrapbooking using these kits. So make sure to check out the blog post. Link is in the video description, and I'll share some more information and just kind of my thought process, as well as the finished pictures of the finished product of all 6 of these pages. So thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful, and if you would like to learn more about scrapbooking or memory keeping with the Stampin' Up! Workshop kits, let me know. I would be happy to help you and pick the kit that's just right for you. Thanks for watching. Have a stamp happy day.